Namaste, Marcus again. Hi. October now, and it's getting quite cold here in the UK. Imagine most places in this part of the world are quite cold. And I want to talk a little bit today about being in the groove, being in the moment, being in the right place for us. Because all of you watching this probably are aware that we've reached a stage in ascension now where we're on the cusp of just that little bit of more forward movement, and we're going to sort of flip over. We're just going to go flip. And the hardest thing I found is keeping your attention in the fifth dimension. It's all well and good when you're meditating or you're tuning in, for channeling or whatever it is, and you're keeping your head in that state. But what about the rest of the time? What about the time? Let's face it, most people have ordinary lives as well. So you have to go and do things like go and pick the kids up from school, go and drop the kids off at school, go and do your shopping, go and mix with people in different places, go and interact with people in different places, go and interact with fellow brethren like yourself who are tuned in, or maybe not tuned in, But the thing is, we have to interact in the 3D world all the time still. But what we're trying to do, and what we should be doing now, we've reached this cusp, is we should be living, or at least our consciousness should be mostly in 5D. But trying to keep your consciousness in 5D while you're living in a 3D world, it's not always that easy, is it? I mean, I'll give you an example. And this is about me, of course, as usual. And a friend of mine sent me a video regarding lions, and it was about, signing a petition, because a lot of lions are being bred in Africa so that people can go out and shoot them and use them as trophies on the walls and stuff like that. Well, it was only a couple of minutes. I think it was I'm not going to say the names of what it was, but it was a 2-minute animated video, and it was so sad. It was so sad. It was about Elsa, for those that know who Elsa was. And I had tears. I still got tears in my heart now. And at the end, I sent my friend a message, saying I've signed the petition. And I was going to write, and it was in my heart to write it. I was going to say, it's those bees, if you know what I mean. Those bees should be getting hunted now. And not with guns. They should be getting hunted with bows and arrows and bricks, I was so violent towards them and feeling so angry about the fact that those beautiful creatures in the wild are getting massacred like this for the sake of someone having shooting practice. And there's not that many of them left either. It's so sad. And they're being bred for that. Anyway, we don't want to go there. It's a very, look, going already. I leak all the time at the moment. I leak a lot. And I don't mind that, because I know I'm a man, but I leak like a girl, which is fine. I know that's sexist now. I realise I've said that. I'll probably have to put that in outtakes or just cut it out. A lot of people will complain. But I'm sorry about that. It's just the way it is. So, the thing is, as soon as I started writing it, of course, I didn't send it. I went back and deleted it, because I just realised right away, what am I doing? I'm telling everyone to stay in your heart and do the right thing and stay chilled and keep, the love for the world. And then all of a sudden, I just lose it. And I've said this before in videos, I'm a human being, not being human a lot of the time. And I lose it sometimes, I get upset, I get angry. But this is what we've got to try and avoid. So luckily, I did avoid it, and I was able to turn back the clock a bit and stop myself from getting into that state of mind, and put the love out instead to those animals out there. And that's what we need to do. We just need to send love and light into the world as much as possible. So when we're in these positions where we're being put in we leave our heart space and we go into these places, you've got to turn back the clock and just say, no, 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 no. You can't be there. And you have to pull yourself back and get back into your heart space and remember what we're supposed to be doing. Sending love and light into the world and everything in it. Not bad vibes, not violence, not aggression, not hate, not anger. But there you go. I slip up sometimes. Thing is, I do learn from my mistakes eventually. Usually quite quick. And that's what we need to do. We all make mistakes. So, but please try and learn from them if it happens to you. And try and change that as soon as possible. Because at this moment, it's really important that we stay in our hearts. We keep the love into the world. There's lots of, I think there's some turmoil, let's say, in the world. And there's lots of up and downs going on at the moment. And lots of, if you listen to the negative side, you can get very depressed. What we have to do is send love and light to those places. And that's all we can do, really. And I know there's people who do other things, and that's great if they do that. But if you can't be out there doing stuff, if you think you need to do that, then be here and send love and light. That's really important. And it's related to this. And, how do you do it? How do you stay in your heart? How do you be in your heart all the time? It's a really difficult thing. And I had my ascension I have a monthly ascension group. And I was trying to figure out, usually it's a couple of days before I do it, I tune in and see what comes through. And what actually came through was something about this actually, for one of the meditations we were doing. And it was saying to me, be in the state that reminds you or puts you in the same place as the quarterly rites of the equinox and the solstice. Well, that's something I do actually in my own way. I won't go into detail how I do it, but I think it's important to stay in tune with nature. I'm not a shaman, but I feel it's important to be in that flow, the flow of where we're living in nature. And it's not just nature, it's a part of everything nature, but being in that flow of the spring, planting seeds, the summer, watching the flowers, bloom, preparing for the fruit actually, watching the flowers come out, and the autumn where you're picking the fruit, the harvest, and the winter, which is a time of contemplation and indwelling and relaxing and calm, putting yourself in a position ready to break forth into the spring, next spring. And it's a very important thing, the cycle. And when you do prayers to do with that, whichever situation you do them in, whatever your way of doing it, you're actually in that that state of that season. So it's putting yourself into that place of where you are now all the time. So I can't go into any more detail. It's something you have to meditate on for yourself. But what you want to do is to help you stay in your heart all the time and be in that heart space much as possible, is try and put yourself in a position of being in that oneness of all, in your being, in your consciousness, and in your heart. Because if you're in your heart, you're connected to the oneness, the source. And if you can stay there and just vibrate yourself around, no matter what you're doing, whether you're picking the kids up, whether you're going shopping, whether you're playing bowls with your friends or bowling, it doesn't matter. you still got to keep your consciousness in that space of being in the now moment, of being connected to the all. That's not when you're bowling, doesn't mean being in the now moment of the bowling, which is obviously important if you want to win, but being in the now moment, whatever you're doing, being in that connected space to the source. I don't know how I'm going to do this myself yet. I'm just sort of talking about it so I can learn myself. And it's very valuable, I feel. So, I think that's all for today. Namaste. Stay well. Stay calm. Stay in your heart.